Hey guys, here I am again with another Jake's Metal Chat. This is episode 42. Before I forget which episodes I've done, because episode 1 was Carl Willits from Boltfur, or ex-Boltfur Memoriam. Memoriam, ex-Boltfur. Well, I might have to turn... I've always looked at the last ones. And yeah, I don't know. Whoops, almost clicked off that. I keep thinking my sound's buggered. Oh yeah, my TV's on because I'm sorry, I'm uploading Resident Evil Village or Resident Evil 8. It's the 8th installment, so I just call Resident Evil 8. Yeah, I'm just waiting for my guest to come in. I'm usually supposed to be updating the Jake's Metal Chat page, but I haven't been doing that, so kind of stupid to do it now, but I might as well do it. Might hear a probably didn't hear that, but if you did hear a ka-ching, that's it. I think my guest's in at the moment, so I better get him in. Actually, I'll just do all this crap first. But I'm going to be doing a video on Black City Records soon because I bought more stuff from Black City Records, and so I'm just trying to sort some shit out here. Yeah, so I got more stuff from Black City Records. So all the things I bought from Black City Records. I don't know, I was going to post my band on there. No, I don't want WhatsApp. Okay, I'm kind of taking the piss a little bit. Actually, let me just get on. Let me just do what I need to do. And I'll get my guest in. The one I got, the one I got on is that. So I have on, which for some reason is not letting me. Oh, fuck it. Never mind. Anyway, I'm going to get him in because I'm just wasting time otherwise. Not drinking a beer this time, just drinking water because I've been on a long walk. Can I review for fuck's sake? And you'll need in connect. Oh, wait. He's on, but no voices. Oh, wait a minute. Not yet. Well, that's weird. Zoom, ladies and gentlemen. That'd be his. Oh no, wait, it's starting again. Let's see. Should work now. Oh, and now it's just muted. You're muted.
Now?
I can hear you now. Good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay.
Is this as loud as it goes?
Yeah, but you have to go upstairs. You will hear everything.
Oh, okay, I've got to get out of the way. So,
What's up?
give me a second. How are you then, Jake?
I am fantastic. How are you doing?
Yeah. Okay, under the circumstances.
Yeah, some technical issues.
So,
it happens.
Well, I actually have nothing to do with technology at all, and if it wasn't for my wife, I really don't know what I'd do. I just don't use it often enough to learn it.
Yeah,
I've become a bit of a Luddite.
I've
been left behind.
That's fair enough. Welcome to Jake's Metal Chat. This is episode 42. You're the 42nd guest. Because Carl
42nd guest.
Yeah, because Carl was number 41. Carl,
Oh.
Carl Willits. Of course, you know Carl Willits.
Yes.
Because
Of course, I know Carl Willits.
Of course you do, because you've done tours and shows together back in the day. Of course. Talking it anyway, yeah, because yeah, I had him on, but he said my name wrong. He called me Jack.
Jack. Oh.
Yeah, he called me Jack. He just went, "How you doing, Jack?" I was like, "I'll just roll. Fuck it."
I could understand him. Yeah, is it Eric? You could call you Eric.
Eric.
You don't remember Eric Bristow?
Yeah,
The famous darts player.
Yeah, but I don't think he's related to me though.
No.
If he was, then he's some cousin or whatever. I don't know, but he's probably not related. For all I fucking know.
He was good with the arrows.
Oh, he's good with the, throwing darts. Hopefully, getting the bullseye. Anyway, people, this man doesn't need any introductions, but obviously, there's going to be people there that don't know who this man is, or don't even know what his band's called. This is John Walker from the band Cancer and Liquid Graveyard, who I not listened to until about 2 days ago, and I thought,
Oh.
I guess I knew you were in and out of band, but I didn't check them out until recently, and I liked what I heard.
Oh, right. Great.
Like what I heard, and I was like, death metal. Well, I said avant-garde death metal, death and progressive metal, which was a bit of an odd mix.
Yeah, I think it's kind of experimental. If for us, it's kind of that really. You know what I mean? Where you can loosen the concepts a bit.
Yeah,
at times.
Well,
but I'm trying to find the best
just find
location that.
Otherwise, people are just going to get fucking dizzy. You just walking around.
I know, yeah. Sorry about that. No,
don't have to be sorry. Don't be sorry to me. Well, you can be, but I don't give a shit.
Well, I don't want to make anybody dizzy. I certainly don't want that.
You don't want that. Only if they're headbanging to your music.
Yeah.
That's it.
So
how have you been with what's been going on? I'm not going to name it because it's been named too many bloody times now. How have you been coping with the pandemic?
Yeah, well, last year, because I've got children, I had them in the house, and I just kind of had to change my lifestyle quite a bit. I live in Spain, and
yeah,
the level of, I would just say, for those 3 months of lockdown, the initial 3 months were extraordinary. I think Benito Mussolini would have been super chuffed with that one. What they've been doing here is they've been locking down districts, literally districts, and loosening it after like 2 weeks, and then locking it down again. It's I don't know whether it's just a bit crazy.
Oh yeah.
With that, because you never know what's going. You never know. If you need a document to get in somewhere, or we're bogged down with bullshit basically, and
That's everywhere at the moment. So
yeah,
it's like there's things in Bristol have opened up here in Bristol, where I'm from, in the UK, and pubs are open, but only the gardens, like beer gardens and stuff. Can't go in a pub yet.
So you can't go in the pub to have a beer.
No, you got to sit outside because because
Is the weather all right?
Yeah, the weather is fine. I went out for a walk today.
Well, that's all right then.
Went out for a walk today, and I was like, shit, I better get back soon because I'm going to be chatting to John Walker. So I was like, fuck. And because I had to get a new passport photo as well for when we can travel again, because it's my old one's got me with no beard on.
Okay.
So I was like,
So you got to renew your passport.
Yeah, because it ends this month.
No, mine ends in August, and because of the Brexit, I had to go and get my documents changed.
Yeah, that's another thing.
I've got like what you call a green card to work here. I pay social security. I pay my taxes,
obviously,
and as you do. And I got an egregious policeman, having a word with me because I've got only 3 months left on my passport, and I was, God, So yeah, I've got to do the same. Mine will probably be online.
Yeah, we'll have to do online meme because mine ends in May. My auntie's ends in June, so we're just going to do ours together and just get it sorted. So,
yeah.
But yeah, because we're dealing with a pandemic, and obviously you mentioned the B word, which I don't like talking about. No one likes talking about. It's all complete fucking nonsense. But the less about that, the better.
Yeah, well, for me, this year it changed. I kind of changed changed my attitude really towards the whole thing, and started getting the guitar out and start working on some new material. And I've been a busy boy since the beginning of 2021. And in a way, it's kind of fueled some strong creative impulse, I could say, for the next Cancer album. And awesome. I'm quite excited myself, and you've caught me doing the interview when I'm right in the middle of writing it, and so I'm up and vibing. And,
don't tell us too much about it, because I think a lot of
I won't. But I wanted to, share with you that, because for me that was the turning point really, because I was like, I wasn't going to, bother with any of it anymore, and just get on with my job, which is, doing music, and I want to write music, come up with some fresh stuff, because we signed up with Peaceville. And I've got to give them another album, and so I've been putting in the time, and the other guys have as well. So that's basically what I've been doing, and I hope they've been doing.
That's cool. So. Yeah, well, that's awesome. And well, obviously, I was saying that's chat metal, but we're chatting metal because you just mentioned there's a new Cancer album coming out. You mentioned Peaceville, and the question
there's a new Cancer album being written.
Well, it's being written, but whenever it comes out, we don't know.
Yeah.
Once it does come out, I'll be buying it.
Great stuff.
And this is what I asked pretty much all the other guests that I've had. Where did your music journey begin? And how did it get into metal?
Yeah. You're going to think I'm a real old person now. That's the problem with that question. The journey started for me. I used to listen to punk rock. I was keen on, the Kennedys, stuff like that, Sex Pistols, and showing my age now, actually, when it was relevant, at the time.
I like those bands as well.
Yeah, so I was super keen on that, and then however, I was before going to school. I'm really showing my age now. I was going to school, and I heard on Radio 1 a song called Warhead by a
What?
band called Venom.
Yep, yep.
And I remember, you know, I was doing okay at school at the time, apart from the usual physical abuse from the teachers and the other students. But
Oh yeah, it's not
I remember at the time that the Venom gave me the energy and the attitude to start the fuck you
just
attitude.
I'll bugger off.
And I started to reject education, and I, along with many other things, and I was pretty much, you can ask the bass player, I was pretty much in trouble at school from that moment on. Actually, I was in trouble before, but it was more legitimate trouble.
More
I was a
legitimate.
troublemaker. Jake. I was labelled a troublemaker. So anyway, by the education establishment. Anyway, I heard this song, Venom's Warhead, and I managed to borrow. I couldn't even buy it. I borrowed the 12-inch record, and of course it got Lady Lust and Seven Gates of Hell. Yeah, that was where the journey kind of went in that tangent. Do you understand? And I started to pay a lot of interest in metal, and around the same time, that was when I met Ian Buchanan. He exposed me to a lot of heavy metal at the time. He was far more versed with it than me. You know, I remember Motorhead. My God, they were a massive influence as well. You know, when I first heard them, I think it was Iron Fist or Another Perfect Day. It was around then, and you know, it was going from that punk thing, but it was the Venom thing that was like, oh my God, you know. And after that, you've got of course, the people that I knew at the time, apart from me, and who versed me in, well, you know, your Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelins and all that, you know, Rush even.
Yeah, Rush.
You know, he was a bit of a hippie, I think. There was also, you know, the Metallica, Ride the Lightning had come out when I was at school as well. And when I first heard Fight Fire with Fire, you know, that was a moment, wasn't it? You know, nice one, James. You know, especially with the acoustic guitar with the harpsichord and then that riff coming in. Nice one. And after that, I think it was Celtic Frost Hellhammer. Massive influence. Jesus. I suppose that's the wrong word, but that was a big influence. That was a big influence because with that group there was this different sound coming out at the time, and then you got the pictures of the group on the back of the records, and my gosh, you know, it was, that was influential in itself. Yeah. And then you got your Bathory, your Voivod, Megadeth, Exodus, you know, all these great, you know, these groups coming out. Slayer, of course. You know, I went to see Slayer on their Rain in Blood tour at the Birmingham Odeon and got kicked out after stage diving. Through chemical warfare. I was, you know. Well, actually, I jumped off this. I got down the front. I jumped onto the stage, and I avoided the bouncer who spotted me. I jumped back off, but the crowd kind of did this thing with the hands, and I was kind of projected back onto the stage in a bit of a heap. And I jumped back off again, and into the arms of a bouncer who basically roughed me up and chucked me out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, chemical warfare, never forget that.
You can just picture it now. It's like, gotta get away from this prick. No, not back on the stage.
Yeah, I know. I was overcome with metal that night, I tell you. But
Go.
yeah, I remember that they played. They had "Symptom of the Universe" by Black Sabbath as their intro tape.
Oh, cool.
You know, yeah, at the Birmingham Odeon, which I thought was a nice touch, considering the Sabs come from that area.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
And I'm trying to think after that. You know, there was German thrash metal.
Yeah.
I kind of absorbed quite a bit of that as well. I love the you know, the Eternal Devastation by Destruction.
Yeah. Great.
They've all come back out, haven't they, those CDs? And you know, that Flag of Hate EP by Creator as well. There was Sodomy and Lust by the band Sodom as well, which was a gem in the record collection. with the song My Atonement, you know. Great stuff.
Great stuff.
Cool. Tom Angel Ripper.
Tom Angel Ripper.
Can you say?
What a name to have. Tom Angel Ripper is like, stay away from him, kids. His last name's Angel Ripper. It's not his real last name. I don't think.
Oh, it's got. I quite liked Coroner as well.
Oh yeah.
When they got in with Scott Burns during the Green time, and I think after that I started listening to a lot of industrial music. I kind of switched over. I was getting into the Ministry a bit. You know, this was at the time of I think it was is it Land of Rape and Honey? Or,
yeah, I got that on. I got that on vinyl actually.
Yeah, I mean,
it's an intense
high
album.
impact stuff.
It's an intense
high impact stuff.
Yeah, very intense.
Yeah.
And they became a metal band later on. So.
Yeah. So I don't know if that answers your.
Yeah, that pretty much. Yeah, you pretty much answered it with your journey and that. So
cool. I've looked at other things as well. You know, it doesn't. You know.
I mean, you like your metal and also your horror films, of course, because metalheads love horror films.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely.
We'll talk about a certain horror film later on when I get on to that particular album. But now we're going to get into the band that everyone knows you for, and that's Cancer.
Yeah.
How's that band form, and who came up with the name?
Yeah, that was. It was formed. Yeah, in Ironbridge, in Telford, Shropshire, in England.
Not been there. So.
No, it's a tourist area, and apart from a few, some tourist, apart from something like museums and things like that,
yeah.
there was a good pub crawl that you could go on, so you could go on the Lash down there and have a good night. And Shane from Napalm Death used to turn up, and that's because when he used to live in Broseley, so he only had to go over the river because he was from Shropshire as well, from the same area, Mitch Dickinson. So we used to meet up and go drinking. Anyway, this was around that time, and we kind of knew Carl. Me and Ian knew Carl, and we decided to have a jam with him just for a laugh. And we had a jam in Ironbridge, and we knew something was there. We didn't have a name. The amplifier they used went into meltdown. Didn't burn down the rehearsal room, but it was, you couldn't use it. The transformer was just a piece of like molten metal. So something from Chernobyl. But anyway, and we thought there was something going on, and we knew somebody called Decker, his name was, And we were trying to come up with a name for a band, and we thought, we couldn't come up with a, and there was all these other bands, and he said, why don't you call your band? He said, Geordie lad. He says, what, hey man, why don't you call your band Cancer? And there was a little bit of shell shock with it, and then we thought, so that's not a bad idea, and so it stuck. So we caught it, and over the years we've kind of justified using the name, saying, yeah, it's kind of like how society treats us and all, with all this kind of stuff. But really, we wanted to use the name to turn heads at the time.
Well, you did.
And at the time it was, I didn't call it coronavirus.
Probably someone going.
Probably wouldn't, we probably wouldn't listen to you. That's the thing. But anyway.
Yeah, well, you did your job with the name, because probably a lot of people were like, cancer. Who these long head lads? Don't like them.
Yeah, well, that was basically it. Yeah. We went on to do a demo. We did a demo in Birmingham at a studio called The Pits. And the man at the desk, of all people, was Stevie Young, the guy who replaced Malcolm Young in AC/DC. He got a studio in Birmingham at the time, and he was there, and he called this guy called Mick over. Anyway, Big Mick was the sound man for the group Metallica at the time. Anyway, he came in the studio and he kind of messed with the soundboard, and we got a demo called the No Fucking Cover demo, and it had two songs called The Growth Has Begun, which never got re-recorded, and the other one, which was Burning Casket, My Testimony, which came on the album Death Shall Rise.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And that demo got us the attention of kind of Vinyl Solution, and we gave them another demo that was done this time by the in-house chap at the Pit Studio. So we just did a demo, kind of basic demo of what we'd do for the album, which was going to be The Gory End. And I think very quickly after that, that one. We had Scott Burns from Florida. He came over, and he got locked up with us a very cold winter in Wales.
Oof.
In the middle of nowhere, absolutely in the middle of nowhere, and God knows what he must have thought. And for those days, we managed to lay down that album, and
that's it.
Yeah, Carl and Scott went back to Morrisound and mixed it. That was when the chap from Obituary did some of his vocals.
John, I was about to mention John Toddy did guest vocals on the song Die Die.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, wait, when's his vocals coming in? Also, it's like, Die Die. Oh, there he is.
There he is in there. So, and never looked back really from then on. We got like in business really. I mean, we started getting concerts. We started getting concerts in London.
Yep.
So we played with Obituary, and we also played with the Satanist Deicide at the time. We did a UK tour with them. We did that tour where the frontman Glenn had one of his basses stolen from a show in Bradford, and we all had to play after Plod had turned up and took down the details.
Yeah. Someone just thought, I'm just going to nick that bass. It's like, you fucking pillar. Well, I was going to ask about this. How long did this take to record? Like, where you, like, what?
Well,
how long was everything?
Fueled with a lot of cans of beer. Was it 4 days?
So cans of beer and 4 days.
4 days.
4 days of music and beer. How do you?
I'm not sure how long it took to mix because I wasn't there. But
Oh, no, because Scott Burns was doing that.
yeah, but I mean, when he came over, and you know, I mean, we had 4 days in the studio recording it in this middle of the nowhere experience in Wales. And but I think we had a rehearsal with him in Telford, and he was, you know, checking out the stuff. So, you know, he wasn't going into a recording studio. You know, he did the demos, and you know, he was asking us questions and you know, stuff like that.
And he was like, "Oh, what do you want from this?" Blah blah blah.
Yeah, well, he was getting
the engineer in him,
wasn't he?
you know. And obviously, a lot of people will know this if you're a horror fan. That's the zombie from Dawn of the Dead, of course.
Yeah.
And I
Dawn
thought,
of the Dead.
very simple cover. It's like, don't need too much in the way of, oh, what can we just place here? The zombie from Dawn of the Dead, brilliant.
We were big into gore films at the time. That was the leisure pastime.
As what it says, to the gory end.
Yeah. Well, To the Gory End is actually from the song To the Gory End, which is about the Hellraiser.
Was it about
Hellraiser?
Oh, cool.
Clive Barker.
Yeah, Clive Barker. Yeah.
Pinhead.
Yeah, Pinhead. You know. Will tear your soul apart and all that.
All that, yeah.
And all that. And well, there's a band picture which you couldn't have seen if I opened it. And there you go.
Oh my God.
Look at that. There's you with some hoodie on. What's the hoodie?
Yeah.
What is it? Well, there's Carl, at least, with wearing Napalm Death.
Yeah.
And there's Ian.
He's wearing
looking fucking happy.
Yeah, well, he was.
Not you look happy. You're all just like, well, him. He's like, oh, I don't want to be here. You're just like, I somewhat want to be here. And Carl's like, don't look at me. Just don't look at me. And yeah.
Have you got the words with that?
Yeah. Well, look at that.
Oh my God.
That's it. That's all that's in it. Lyrics.
You were saying that I was going to potentially make people go dizzy walking around my bathroom. Look at them.
Look at that then.
Look at that.
That's
look at that. Lyrics. Designed by MK Ultra.
Yeah. Well, that's a.
Don't look at that for too long.
That is the most. That's a simple booklet. No bloody pictures or nothing, except for that picture. But you know,
except that one.
It and well, it's a re-release. It's a re-release because it's got that on it. A gig he did at Wrexham in 1990.
Oh my God! Good in Wrexham.
That's going back nearly. Well, that's happened in August, so nearly 31 years.
Yeah.
Well,
it's what you know. I mean, you can't. I can't ever forget the shows we played in the Wrexham because it was at a place called the War Memorial Club. So there was all this mayhem, you know, going on with death metal and you know and all these groups, you know, all this going on in the concert hall, and through the foyer there was like this bar for retired servicemen, you know, there with their hats, you know, drinking beer. It was surreal, you know, going from one environment to the other. You know,
that's weird. It's like
yeah.
You're in that area with all the veterans and that, and then you go back into another room, and it's just a bunch of long-haired guys.
I know, yeah,
wearing band shirts, battle jackets, and everything. Listen to you guys play on stage.
Well, they're all kind of. I mean, they were all really. They were old codgers, Jake. I mean, they were there because they had nowhere else to go. Obviously.
No.
But you know, it was funny how they put the Syndicate, which was the promotion company, or I don't know, agents they used to put on the concerts there. You know, with the you couldn't tell whether it was a bit of a joke for them to do that, you know, but it was all a bit, you know, oh, let's put it there, it'll be funny. You know,
my camera went out again.
You know, so something off like a series of Twin Peaks if
Twin
you know,
Peaks,
in a very extreme way. If you
there's a
can try and
series.
think, it was in that kind of David Lynch.
Yeah, there's a great series. There's a great series, Twin Peaks. There's a great series. So yeah, I just thought I'd show that because it had that on it, and obviously we mentioned Scott Burns, his name somewhere, if I can point it out.
Yeah,
Scott Burns, and then John Tardy's down there.
yeah.
Of course, John Tardy
John.
from Obituary, because you did shows with him, and then one of their members joined you for a brief time.
Oh, yes.
You all know who
yes,
that is.
Yes.
He's a Florida shredder. He's been in too many battles of death. Obituary. He played in Testament, and of course he played with you guys on this, and that's James Murphy.
Yeah. Yes.
What was he like to work with?
Well, when we were in
Or what was your first impression?
recording Death Shall Rise, and
Which I also
at
had.
the time, I mean, at the time I was playing guitar and doing the vocals, but I don't think Scott was very enamored about my leads, my cat strangling leads, as it was called. Anyway, and James was kicking about, and he came in to do a few guest leads, and I remember Ian Buchanan proposing to me, well, how do you feel about James Murphy doing the rest of your leads? And I'd already been in the control room playing leads, and for a bit, I mean, I felt a bit like, oh, bloody hell. But then I thought, well, it's going to be an experience, and as a musician, I like to keep an open mind.
Yep.
So you have to put your petty concepts away a bit and go, well, it's a band, and let's give him a go. Let's get him in. Let's get James in. Let's get Jimbo in. And have a play. And I thought he played wonderfully on that album.
Well,
on those leads. I thought he played a blinder.
Yeah, his solo work on this album's fucking brilliant.
I have to play when we play now, because at the moment, I mean, we're back as a 3-piece, so I'm doing the leads.
Yeah,
and
when
we play the songs off that, I've had to take out like his principal melodies as a homage to him, as a tribute to the guy, because I mean, he's an extraordinary player. He really is, but rather than go into that very fast runs, I've kind of worked my own parts out, and that play more to my strengths.
Yeah,
as a guitarist, and I think after about like 28 years, I've finally managed to get it happening. So, yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah. And I've got, show the artwork again, because look at that.
Yeah, that was Junior Tomlin. He did that.
I was wondering who'd done this.
I think it was Junior Tomlin. I think he did it.
I have no idea. It doesn't say. And lyrics, of course.
Wow, more MK Ultra.
And of course, your logo, but in white.
Gosh, look at that.
And of course, looking at the song "Hung, Drawn, and Quartered," you mentioned the band earlier. Well, Glenn Benton.
Yeah.
And I've actually seen a picture on Facebook somewhere. It's you and him just doing the vocals for that song.
Yeah.
And he's in his jogging bottoms or whatever.
Yeah. Hey, he's a good guy, Glenn is.
Yeah, I have met him.
I've always got a bit of time for Glenn, he came over. He's not one to mix much over there with the scene, and he came over because we went on tour with him, we went on tour with Deicide twice. We did a North American tour with him and played in London, and you know, and so we kind of like, you know, got kind of friendly as you do. And he came over before, you know, the rest of the people were coming over to Morrissey, and he got his vocals done. He had a couple of toots, and he did his I think he did his vocals in one take. I mean, you know, that was it. And you know, it was just great to see him in that environment. You know, that was in the days when the old cross was still prominent in his features.
Yeah, I met him before because they also played Bristol back in 2013. Managed to speak to him for a bit, and I can actually see the cross. He's embedded it in his head.
I tell you what, I saw him. I met him. We were going to go on. It was when we went on, before we went on tour, but we played the Milwaukee Metal Fest, and there was like this party or bar thing going on the night before, and I met up with him at the bar, and he's definitely the type of person you want to go drinking with, because he's such a good laugh.
Yeah, because it's right there, because that's one of the videos on this release of the CD.
Yeah,
Milwaukee Metal Fest.
Yeah,
and one above, and there's Brooklyn, New York, and then there's whatever that one is, Tasteless Incense or whatever the fuck. But yeah, whatever insects, I think it said.
Yes.
If it says insects, it says insects.
Tasteless Insects.
Yeah, that's the one. And of course, another band picture.
Oh,
look. Well, this is a blast from the past for you, isn't it?
It is. I've got that kind of washed out leukemia look. At the time, I was kind of strong vegetarian, and we were over in the States for 2 weeks, and vegetarianism in Florida during the early 90s wasn't a popular thing. And I think I was living on Gator Crunch and Mountain Dew for the whole time. You know, Jeez. So I had the washed out leukemia look. You know, It took me ages to get a bit of colour back in my skin.
Well,
yeah, look at that.
Yeah, you just look like you crawled out of a fucking grave or something.
Well, I had. Look at it. Yeah, but I mean, look at Ian.
Yeah, Ian. Where is he? There he is.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're Ian Buchanan and you go in the sun for 30 seconds.
Wow, he burned up pretty quick.
He's nice and crispy.
And then Cole's just there with his sunglasses.
Yeah.
And of course, the man himself, James Murphy, wearing bolt fur.
Yeah.
Where was this picture taken?
Somewhere in Tampa, I think.
Fuck knows.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even remember who took the picture. It was a photographer.
It should usually say in the book who did what. Like, obviously it says Scott Burns who did the engineering and all that, but it should say who took the picture. I'll have a look.
I don't know if that information is it available.
It usually says in the booklet, photographed by Tim Hugh Bird or something, whatever his name is. See his.
Oh, right. Well, it must have been him then.
Was something Tim. Him.
Yes.
I don't know, but well, apart from you looking like you just crawled out of a grave, you are wearing a Candlemass shirt.
Yeah. Yeah. That was, yeah.
Good old Candlemass. Because the first time I saw you guys, before we carry on, I saw you at Netherlands Death Fest 2 in 2017. If you can remember that. That's 2017.
That was with Triptychon.
Yeah.
And Demolition Hammer.
Yes. Yeah, I saw you there because I was like, oh, Cancer's playing. I need to see Cancer. I haven't seen Cancer yet. And then I saw it, I was like, playing all my favourite songs and everything. I was just like, okay, I can die happy. And then I saw you again at Hammerfest that same year because you were on after Elstorm.
The Hammerfest.
Yeah, that
Was
was
that,
in,
was that
was
the one
not-
in Wales?
yeah, it was North Wales. Yeah, is that this holiday camp thing?
Oh my God.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
it was Evil
Yeah.
Scarecrow, Ailstorm, and then you guys.
Mm. Yes. Yeah.
But I was just like,
I think we.
well, that's a bit of an odd mix.
Yeah. Yeah. It was both occasions. Consumption was a strong influence. I mean, that one with Triptychon. I remember we went for a glass of wine the night before. Well, it turned out to be more than one glass of wine. And I remember playing the next day on stage, and my throat was like Gandhi's flip-flop. That's all I remember of that. You know, I still made the effort.
Yeah,
You know, when you got like super dry throat and your skin doesn't feel like your own.
Yeah, a frog in your
It's
throat.
a bit like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
frog in your throat.
right. Still perform though.
You still perform though. You did
Yeah.
did a brilliant. You did a good job. So, and plus it was my first time seeing, so I couldn't really judge it too harshly. And I took the CD out because there's another picture in it.
Oh yeah, that was with the Paradise Lost sweatshirt.
Yeah, with it.
The photo shoot was done on the same day, but we had to take t-shirts with us. Change the t-shirt.
Yeah, well,
I think they should have took the pictures of us at the Holiday Inn
the holiday
where we stayed. I think it was the Holiday Inn where we stayed. You know, they could have took the pictures there.
I've been to Florida, but I might have gone through Tampa, and I don't think I saw a Holiday Inn anywhere. Might have moved somewhere else for.
Yeah.
But yeah,
well, it was probably pretty old now. Actually, it had been.
Well, Cole's wearing Cerebral Fix.
I know, yeah.
That's a good shirt. Good band as well.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Death Shall Rise, which is one of my favorite albums by you guys.
Yeah.
Along with this one.
Okay. Wow.
And I was going to mention one song on here, which is the first song I think I heard from this album, because the first album I actually heard all the way through was To a Gory End. About like 2008, I heard it.
Yeah.
I was about 16, 17. But the song I heard from it was Back from the Dead. And I saw a music video of you guys on a farm. Now, where was that? Where was that filmed?
It was filmed in a place called Shifnal, which is I think it's part of Telford or near Telford, where the group was from, and it was done by I think the guy's a pornographer now, or he became that. But he was into gore films, and through the grapevine in Telford, the connection was made. But the producer, who did Living Doll, and this was Paul Hart Wilden. You know, he got behind it. And I think because he got behind it, it happened, you know, that video, you know. But I remember at the time, I thought they could have edited it a bit quicker, you know.
Well, yeah. Well,
I think, there's a massive effort made. Do you understand?
Yeah.
There's a massive effort made with the concept. But when it came to the editing, everything, you know, it was on the
someone's giving you a call.
Yeah.
I have to
Hang on.
Yeah, we'll learn more about the back from the Dead video in a minute.
Okay. Okay, is it stopped?
It stopped.
I told you
Anyway,
I'm no good with technology. I get up in the morning, I play guitar. I don't touch this.
Don't
stuff,
touch your
you know.
phone.
I don't like it. You know.
you know. But anyway, back to
Anyway, I'm happy
Dead.
to talk with you.
Yeah.
Back from the Dead, yeah. I felt that we've all made a pretty big effort actually, and you
Yeah, I
know,
like the video.
I've, you know, it was my first experience at that type of thing.
Doing the
But
music.
like I say, when it came to the editing suite, I think they had their feet on the desk. You know, I thought they could have done it a bit quicker.
Yeah,
you know, move it on a bit. You know,
You're probably just waiting.
let's have some
where's the-
flashing.
where's
Let's
the-
have some
yeah, where's this video?
epileptic strobes.
Yeah, where's this video? Where's this video? But what we got in the end was you guys playing in a bomb, and then at one point, I think it's you anyway. You got your hair tied back. You're wearing glasses. You're in a long white coat, and obviously,
I was supposed to be a doctor,
You-
Dr. Fauci,
okay, I didn't know what the doctor
especially
was
with that,
called.
you know, washed out leukemia look. Have you noticed that these doctors look ill? What's going on there?
What's going on there?
I had to make myself look ill.
And
For that.
well, you said you were pretty much form vegetarian back then, so there you go. And obviously during that video, if anyone's watching, I guess most people have who are into this band and into death metal, he gets a bloody tube shoved in his throat, and then by the end of it, you're just laying there, just like, and then your eye just opens. I think at one point,
Yeah.
but I think
Yeah,
that
I
might
was
just
like,
been in
yeah.
the interviews that you did because you're wearing your sunglasses then, and then
Yeah.
James Murphy.
Well, the
saying,
interviews
like,
were done. The interviews were done after we went to the pub for our evening meal, and I'd sunk a few beers. And
yeah, you look pretty like just very chilled.
yeah, I was like,
You just like
we're continuing.
I like the interview though because when it shows like some not outtakes, I think it might be outtakes anyway. Ian goes, "Hello, Spider."
Yeah.
I don't know
Do you
what
know where that's from?
I can't.
Bad News.
Bad
With Aid
news.
Edmondson and
Rick
Rick Mail.
Yeah. Oh,
Spider, I think Spider was the drummer, wasn't he? In Bad News.
I can't think, but yeah, I'm pretty sure I heard something like that from Nate Edmondson and Rick Mail. Yeah, definitely. Good.
If you ever get to watch it, it's good fun.
Oh,
Really
I'll
bad
get around to
news.
it because I watched Young Ones, I watched Bottom, I watched those two, what they've done. So I know what their sense of humor is like.
Yeah. Well, I think it was, it was when they were doing Comic Strip Presents.
Yeah,
They started that, and then they did a special with it. I think they actually played Donington, and there was some quotes of, Lemmy saying they're basically, load of crap or in his way.
Yeah.
They were basically condemned by every other group anyway. On the day.
The only reason I brought that up is because he said it with such a deadpan face, like "Hello, Spider," and then starts laughing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think he went there to see it. Ian did. He went to see Bad News at Donington.
Okay. I think that's why I think he just blurted it out in the interview, not during the actual interview. It's just when it shows the credits and all that. And
yeah.
But the video, I don't know why I keep saying it. If you're a metal fan and a horror fan, you should probably get the reference in the video. If not, then it's Reanimator, basically.
Yeah.
It's basically
It is.
Reanimator.
Well, did you ever see the film Reanimator? Did you ever see the film From Beyond, the Resonator? Yeah, with was it Dr. Pretorius?
Yeah, I've seen both films.
I really love that film. It's very
Yep.
pink at times, but I really love that film. It's
Very pink.
It's quite trippy.
Yeah, it's very
And
pink. It's like
I'd have loved it if it had been something like that. But Back from the Dead was basically about Reanimator. That song
pure,
was,
just
so
Reanimator worship.
constrained by the concept of the song there. But it would have been nice if we'd have had a few more trippy effects in it and that type of thing.
But what we got in the end is what we got, and it's a really good effort.
Yeah.
As your first music video.
Yeah, well, I thought it was the last for quite some time.
Oh, yeah, obviously, yeah. It's like obviously you guys were already in the UK. And I think did James have to fly over with you guys?
Yeah, he did.
He had to fly over.
Came over.
He was probably like going from sunny weather to fucking freezing cold weather or whatever. What time of the month was that video filmed?
Mm.
But it kind of looked
I
like
can't remember actually when it was, but it was, the weather was actually rather nice. So
spring.
yeah, probably, because I mean the the bit in the with the Cotton Eye Joe bit in the barn with the bales.
Yeah.
I mean, we were wearing t-shirts, and
Yep.
I can't remember being cold, and I get cold quick, So.
Well, if it was spring, then it'll be warm some days, and it'll be chilly another day, and then
Yeah.
it didn't look like you guys were wearing coats or anything in your interviews or anything, so it must have been nice weather. I think Ian was wearing a long sleeve, but
Yeah, it was good. It was good, yeah.
and
So.
obviously you've got you guys doing all your guitars. Well, James is playing all the bits you would have played on the album, but really, did he just do the solos on the album?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, like I said, I'd actually put solos down, and they got scrapped when James came in.
Nope, we're using James's now.
So, well, I'm using some of these.
Oh, in the video, he's playing all the rhythm parts, but really, what he did on the album was all the solos.
Yeah.
But obviously, when he played live with you guys, he couldn't just do the wait to do his solos, sit back and relax, and you guys play.
Yeah. Well, he had to learn up. He rehearsed up with us, and and that was an experience in itself, because rehearsing with James every day, in a studio, and it's always I think at the time we were quite I wouldn't say inquisitive. We're quite interested to see how the Americans operate in the studio. Do you know what I mean? Out of a good, healthy spirit.
Because it's different wherever you go. Like here, we got our own system in the UK in general. America, they got their own way of doing it. Well, where you live now, Spain, they probably got their own way of bands got their own way of doing it over there. I don't know. I haven't been there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, I love the album. The video, I like the video for Back from the Dead. Obviously it was you four guys, and then there was a female actress in that video.
Yeah.
Do you remember her name? I
don't know. I think she did something. Did she have something to do with the Bangles in one of their videos? I don't know. She did something.
Well,
I mean, she was, yeah.
Well, she's the one who ends up killing you in the bloody video. She just
basically,
gets to shoot. She's like, it's like, oh, nice sort of weird macabre love moment's gonna happen. Nope. It stabs you in the fucking neck. It's like he brings you back to life, and this is what you do.
I know.
What?
I know.
That's just horrible. But obviously that album came out. You toured that album, of course, because you would have toured the albums. And I've noticed on one live video, some of you are wearing corpse paint at one point.
Oh yeah.
Like some horror, like it wasn't full on corpse paint like the black metal bands, but made you look like you were zombies or something.
Yeah. Was this with a very low ceiling?
Very low ceiling. Cole wasn't there because he did his back in, and Nick Barker was his drum tech at the time, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
and he took over.
Carl had a bike accident.
Yeah,
Nick filled in for that.
Yeah,
that was because on the English leg of the tour, Cradle of Filth were on the road with us. They joined the tour, excellent. And I said, "Can you do a bit of makeup?"
So can you use makeup on us? So that's where the makeup came from.
From Cradle of Filth, yeah.
Was it Danny Filth doing that or what?
No, it was. I think it was one of the guitarists at the time.
One of the guys.
Yeah.
Well, obviously you went on tour with Cradle of Filth. What was Danny Filth like back in the day?
I didn't speak with him, to be honest.
Speak with him?
No.
Oh,
not really.
Did he just keep himself to himself?
Yeah. My bloody phone. This isn't my phone, sorry.
It's okay.
Okay.
But obviously Nicholas Barker filled in.
Yeah.
And I actually bumped into him 2018 at Damnation Fest, and I actually talked about that the gig we're talking about,
Mm,
and he said, "Oh yeah, Cole had a motorbike accident. That's why he couldn't do it." I was like,
mm,
"Oh, that's why he said his back. He did his back in."
mm. Yeah, yeah, basically, yeah.
So, well, I watched some of it. I think it was for the song, might have been for the song Bloodbath, I think. I think it was that song anyway. So I just saw it and thought, who the hell, Nicholas Barker, who's that? Looked up, I was like, oh, he's a drummer. Checked out his stuff he's done. I was like, oh, wow, this is amazing.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
well, he obviously he filled in. Did he fill in for the whole UK leg of it, or
He filled in for the European leg,
did he?
the
Oh,
whole
he
of the
filled in for the
European.
entire thing.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Oh, he was
The whole
doing
of the
Cradle
Sins
of
of
Filth.
Mankind.
Yeah, so he's doing Cradle of Filth and Cancer.
Well, he wasn't playing in Cradle of Filth.
Oh,
at the time.
it was a different drummer.
No, listen, I mean, he got the contact there, didn't he? You know.
Of course. And there was another band on that tour with you, Cadaver. Was Cadaver on that tour with you? The Norwegian.
I thought it was Gomorrah.
Good morning.
Gonorrhea.
Yeah,
Gomorrah.
well, there's a band. Yeah, Cadaver. I think it was Cadaver anyway, because I think it was the same venue. I don't know if you went on tour with them.
Oh.
Well, because one of them would have been playing a cello at that time because they bought in a bloody cello.
All right.
I can't
No,
remember. I can't remember.
I know we had Gomorrah. They were on tour, and I remember them. And
I'll check later on.
during the European tour, Cerebral Fix were there. So it was Cerebral Fix, Gomorrah, and Cancer. Okay. And Cradle of Filth came in on the UK tour because I think Cerebral Fix couldn't do it because the drummer had broken a rib.
So your drummer hurts his back in a motorbike accident.
Yeah, in a motorbike accident. Cerebral Fix's drummer at the time broke a rib backstage in Pamplona, farting about.
Twat. If he's listening to this, I apologise.
He fell off the stage.
If he was watching this, hears me say that, I do apologise. But come on.
Nah, they were. It was a dead gig, and we were all prattling about. We were all messing about, as you do. And he had an accident and snapped a rib, and yeah. So falling about, and lesson to be learnt there, children. But anyway, yeah. And he, I think it was Cradle of Filth, came on the road with us when we got to the UK. And after that tour, Nick, he was playing a band called Catalepsy or Monolith. I can't remember which.
He's been in too many bands to remember what.
Well, it was his band from Chesterfield.
Chesterfield.
Around that area.
Yep.
Okay. It was his death metal band, and they were signed to Cacophonous or something with Vinyl Solution, which we were assigned to. And I mean, he got that contact with Cradle of Filth, and yeah, he joined them. Yeah. And the next time I saw him, he was on the TV.
Yeah, the bloody, what was it? Living with the Enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that episode on YouTube.
Well, that actually, yeah, I think it was on in a Cradle of Filth video.
Oh yeah, yeah.
As well, you know.
Yeah,
so I mean,
would have been in the band by then.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't very long before, you know, he was on the TV, so it really did launch his career.
Yeah, because the mother was like complaining about how her son was listening to them at the time. I don't know if he still does. I don't know who the person was. And she said, "Oh, he walks around with his makeup, and kids are looking, they're scared, and people taking their kids away from us and like walking away and all that." And then they followed Cradle of Filth on their tour in a little camper van.
Yes.
So I thought, it's like, okay, I get what your goal is. You want to talk to them and see what they're like. It's like, just come into our camper van for a nice spot of tea. This is why people think we only drink cups of tea. That's not the case.
Yes.
I drink coffee a lot of the time. And the occasional beer.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know, but yeah, obviously he was on that on that show, because obviously it was that was 98 or something like that that came out. Was it 97, 98?
Yeah,
It was the late
Yeah.
90s.
yeah.
It's the late 90s.
right.
Now, back to Cancer, you did another album after Death Shall Rise, which I do not have, unfortunately, and that's, what's it called? Sins of
Yes.
Mankind.
This is when I get to
You
plug
can show
the-
it this time. I have heard it. Yeah, that's the one. I have heard it.
Okay. My sticky fingers.
Of course, then being in
Can
the
we do
band,
it-
you've got your own music.
Do we have to look at the picture, Jake?
I mean, we don't have to.
I'd rather not.
Nah, let's not look at it. If I had the CD,
Not the photo, please, not the photo.
not the photo, because we already shown this
The leukemia washed out. Yeah.
and the one
Yeah,
in
the
this
death.
one, which I'm not going to show again. But yeah, you done that one because I've heard that one as well. Just don't have it. I'm just trying to find the best place to buy it from, but you know.
Yeah.
How long did that take to record then?
That was a couple of weeks. That was it was recorded. I've got the info here. It was recorded in the Windings studio in Wrexham, back to Wales,
That's it.
Wow.
Again.
with Simon Quiltlifter Effermy
Right.
and engineer Pete Wee Coleman, sorry. So yes,
Well, yeah, you got the name. But yeah, because I heard that one. Well, I was like, I'm pretty sure. I was like, wait, do I have that album? No, I do not. I was like, fuck's sake, I don't have the album.
yes.
I will, and then I'll complete my collection.
The the photos. Yes.
I've already brought him back to the bloody past with the last photos we just showed.
Yeah, I can't. I've got the.
You can't do it again, people.
No, it's. Yeah. Yeah. There's no. I can't actually find any studio photos because I've got the Cyclone Empire reissue here, and it's kind of like a collage of photographs from the press at the time. So there's no real specific photos for that. And all that, you can get that off the internet anyway.
Yeah, off the internet. With the internet, with today, with the internet, you can find all these things. Obviously, in the 90s, you couldn't just go on the internet and find these things. You either heard it in fanzines, and he's gone off. Find it in fanzines, or what? There you go. Yeah, you either find them in fanzines, like about the bands, or you heard about it from someone at a show the day. You know.
Yeah, I've just got hassled again on the phone. Can you repeat the question?
No, it wasn't a question. I was just saying, like, with the internet, you can find all this stuff now. But back when you guys were playing, like those golden ages of death metal, you either heard about it in a fanzine, or you heard it from someone from a show, basically.
Yeah.
Obviously, I was
That's
a little
right, yeah.
kid when all this was happening, so I wasn't aware of any of this until I got a little bit older. I'm showing my age,
Right, yeah.
and I'm making you feel old, and I apologize.
No, don't worry about it.
Well, I keep saying to people, "Oh yeah, I'm turning 30 in November."
Yeah. Wow. You fantastic 30s, huh?
Well, I'm just thinking if I get really drunk, it's going to be worse. But it might be worse. I don't know. But well, yeah. Well, I was trying to remember. Was it the Sins of Mankind or Sins of Mankind? It's the Sins of Mankind.
The Sins, yeah. The
I had to
Sins
get
of
my
Mankind.
archives up again because I was like, I might have gotten that wrong. And I forgot to mention a split. There's a split you did in '93, just going that same year, with Poison Idea, Gunshot, and Headbutt.
Gosh,
It's a split from 93.
wow, gosh.
Yeah. Just thought I'd bring it out because I'm thinking you got more releases.
Yeah. This was on a Vinyl Solution compilation, yeah? Or see a record with
Was Vinyl Solution.
yeah. They were keen on doing that at the time, actually mixing genres,
Yeah, like
put it on the same record.
punk, death metal.
Yeah.
Mixing it up.
We played with Poison Idea. We played with them at the London Astoria.
Oh, what was
And
that?
I met the guitarist. Is it his name? Pig Champion.
Pete Champion, I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah, big guy he was. Good God.
I think a couple of them were big guys.
Yeah.
I think a couple of them were. Well, I can't remember who. Well, you mentioned him, Pete. Yeah, he was a big one. I can't remember who the other one was. He was quite a big guy, but
I think it was got a big fella, wasn't he?
I have no idea. I have to look again. And what was I going to say? I was just thinking again with the Milwaukee Metal Fest.
Yeah.
I literally watched it. I was watching it. There's one that you say the song "Hun Drawn and Quartered." All of a sudden, when the song's just kicked in already, the camera pans to the audience and there's a massive circle pit.
Yeah, I know.
I was just like,
yeah.
Oh, like that's brilliant. What was that? What was that festival like?
Yeah, fantastic, really good.
Because
I mean, I remember that. That playing that because I had to borrow a guitar from the group Demonacy because the promoters who got us guitars, I don't know what type of guitars they were, but there was a band there, a female band there, and the guitarist there was kind enough to lend me a guitar that was playable. Literally 10 minutes before I was on the stage. The relief for me wasn't actually coming off the stage; it was actually getting on the stage with a decent guitar. Yeah.
So what happened to your guitar then?
Well, this was it. It never made it to the show. So
did you lose that guitar then?
No, it was just that it was one of those. It was one of those deals where we were there, but we didn't have our instruments. Kind of. It's almost crazy to explain, really. But
there's no point explaining.
I did. I tell you what, I played.
Didn't turn up.
I played in a couple of years ago. I played in Slovenia at the festival there with Cancer.
Would that be Metal Days?
Yeah,
I still not
played there.
I've had mates who've gone there. They said it's brilliant.
I played there. I turned up again without my guitar.
Oh, for crying out loud!
I know. Yeah, I'm professional as you get. I mean, when the promoter books us, I mean, there has to be an attachment with a thing. This guy doesn't bring his stuff. But anyway, I didn't. My guitar was lost in Italy, in Venice. And. Anyway, I got to the show and they lent me a guitar, Jake, that was actually better than my guitar, which was fantastic. Really good. Yeah, I was like, and I thought, wow, I'll do a good show now.
Well, downside is you lost your guitar, but the upside is you had a guitar that was better than the one you
I mean,
in Italy.
A lot better, really, really nice.
Which guitar? Which guitar was it? What brand was it?
It was an Ibanez.
Ibanez, good guitars.
Iceman.
I'm trying to picture it. Can't picture it at the moment.
It's got a shape, and
shape. That's all we do.
It's an Ibanez Iceman, and it was a lovely guitar. It really was. I wasn't picked up my guitar after. Bloody hell, okay.
Yeah. Well, because you had that guitar at Metal Days. What was the guitar you had at Milwaukee Metal Fest in 1992 then?
It was in 1990.
Was it 92? Yeah, it said 92.
Yeah, was this the second time? Because the first time I had a Gibson Flying V, which was lent to me by Cannibal Corpse. Yeah, I'm terrible. I can't
Cannibal
explain.
Corpse. Yeah, because that was all
I
the
can't
original
explain
members
why
at the
they
time.
lend me guitars and why I've got no instruments. And the guitar that I'm seeing with that hung drawn and quartered, which I think
Yeah, that was not.
is a Kramer, which was a good make at the time.
Yeah, I've heard of those. Yeah.
You know, back then, you know.
Yeah, because I was watching it, I was like thinking, oh, that's just one of his guitars. Now you just told me it's not one of your guitars. It's from
No,
the band.
the third time I played there, I did have my guitar, and it was an off nicotine white Gibson Flying V,
Cool.
which was nice.
Yeah, you
Managed to
mentioned-
get there.
Yeah, well, lucky that.
Third time lucky.
Third time lucky. First time, no. Second time, no. Third time,
No.
yes.
Yes, that was it.
You said you had a Flying V for the first one, and I was thinking Cannibal Corpse. Who had a Flying V in Cannibal Corpse? The only person I can think of was Bob Rousset.
It was in the days when Chris Barnes was singing.
It was all original members then, because it was Chris Barnes
and
Bob Rousset, Jack Owen, Alex Webster, and Paul. I'm not even going to attempt to say his last name. I'll mess it up.
He was a gentleman to lend me his guitar. You know,
was that Jack or Bob?
I can't remember which one. You know, I really can't. You know, I just remember it was a.
I think Jack had the white one.
Well, the white one was mine.
Oh.
The off-color nicotine.
I think
nicotine teeth.
I know Bob Rousset had a Flying V guitar, so it might have been him who gave you it.
Yeah.
Might have been him.
It was a nice guitar. That's what got me into playing Flying V's. So.
Well, there you go.
it was bad at the time because I was playing well, I won't mention the make, but the guitar that I was using for the gigs off the back of Death Shall Rise was made of plywood, and it wasn't the best instruments. And so I won't mention the make because I'm trying to get an endorsement. But after that I got into Gibson Flying V's because of that experience at that first Metal Fest. So it's funny how you pick these things up. It's actual experience, and you think, well, this bloke has got a better guitar than me. He was kind enough to lend it to me to play the show. And I think I'm going to get one. Because it was better.
They are nice guitars. The Flying V, Gibson Flying V's. They are very, very nice guitars. I want to get one at some point.
Yeah.
So I can say I own a Gibson Flying V.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. They're nice. Yeah.
They are nice. And the album after The Sins of Mankind.
Yes.
You did a split here called Live Death, which
off the Milwaukee Metal Fest.
Yeah, because it was Suffocation, Meverick Creation, Exorder, and you guys. They used those.
Yeah. It's actually that record is featured in the horror film The Day of the Beast, which is a Spanish film, where this priest from the Vatican goes to Madrid in Spain to investigate some satanic goings on, and he has to try and conjure up the devil to find out what's going to happen. And he goes in this record shop and he flicks through, and one of the records is Welcome to Hell by Venom. And then he picks out that Live Death Milwaukee with Exorder, Suffocation, Cancer, and Malevolent Creation.
Oh, well, I'm going to have to watch that now.
The Day of the Beast. It's only a split second. That's my claim to fame in my home where I'm living.
Just got to pause it quick enough to see it.
Yeah.
That happened with Possessed in Trick or Treat in that film from '86.
Yeah.
You can see 7 churches just off to the side.
Yeah.
It's there. It's kind of dark where it is, but you can see it.
Well,
Which I thought, that's fucking cool.
Yeah. Seven Churches is
Seven Churches is
Yeah.
a great album, and also because what was I saying? Yeah, we're talking about the split, and then there's the other album, is it Black Faith or Black Filth? Black Faith?
Black Filth,
Black Filth?
Black Faith.
Faith. It's from 1995. That one.
Yeah, Black Faith.
Black
Yeah,
Faith.
that was the,
Which has a deranged looking fucking clown or something.
yeah, in a tutu.
In a tutu, whatever the neck collar things are called.
Mm.
Well, how long did that take?
Yeah, that was a marathon task. That was for a wee band from Ironbridge. I can't remember. It was something like whether it was a month recording or something like that. You know, it was a long time. It was in the studio was Great Linford Manor in Milton Keynes, near Milton Keynes.
Milton Keynes.
And when we went down there, we went to meet Marshall and get the lowdown on get the spiel on the Marshall amps. And it was quite an experience recording that one, you know, at the time.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard that one, that album yet. I don't think I've heard it yet.
Mm.
Well, I'm just thinking because as soon as I heard the two albums I got on my desk, I was like, I don't know if they continue with that sound or what. Did you? Because I think with every album you just changed your sound quite a bit.
Yeah, well, we were still, we were still looking, if you like, and still progressing.
Experiment with the sound, yeah.
You know, I tried to justify it by saying, well, a lot of the other bands were doing that at the time, so you know, it was.
We'll do it.
Well, I think it's kind of normal, isn't it, to when you're at that stage to look at the possibilities, potentialities. But it was I'm not going to say anything about the record. It's for the listener to
make their own
make a comment on. But it was certainly an experience recording it and living through the release of it. We did a tour in Europe with the group with the pagan metal band Skyclad.
Yeah.
Do you remember them?
I know. Yeah, I know Skyclad. Yeah.
We did that, and but we it was starting to go a bit like Helter Skelter downhill because of the management. God knows what was going on, but
whatever was going on,
it was all
happened.
It was all that. We were on a different record label. We were in with management, and it is definitely different from the To the Gory End and the Death Shall Rise. So.
Yeah. Well, everyone's got that one album that's like, okay, that's different, and then they go back to what you did before, and it's like, yeah, they're back to what they're doing. Because there's people that are like in the death metal scene, they're like, yeah, they like what they heard from your earlier stuff. As soon as you did something different, they completely cut all ties with that band and then go on to something else. Because obviously in the 90s, Norwegian black metal was getting very big.
That's right, yeah.
So death metal was just falling to the wayside.
That's right, yeah.
So,
well, I mean, it's you ride the roller coaster, and it was when we finished that. I mean, I had to have a rest actually from music. I put the guitar down for a while and did a bit of traveling, a little bit of life experience, and kind of got out a bit,
Yeah, you need to give yourself a break once in a while, because if you're just going to keep doing music, you're going to give yourself an overload.
Yeah, well, it was how can I put it? The experience was quite remarkable. for what it was. So, and so I actually stopped for a bit, stopped playing, and got into kind of other interests. You know, did some other things, bit of traveling. You know, seeing how
Traveling's-
other people,
Traveling's a good interest.
see how other people live. You know, so I went back to kind of like living as almost like a normal, you know, a normal lifestyle.
Yeah, because you got no like touring commitments or anything. So
That's right. Yeah, it was it. It was
So-
a simple man, I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, living like a simple man.
yeah, pretty much.
So,
Yeah. And then well, obviously you had that break. And then 2004, you need that EP called Corruptions. Is it Corruption or Corruptions? Corporations. Sorry, I'm reading it wrong. I was thinking of another thing with corruption in it. For homily corruption, that's what I was thinking of. For some stupid, I was thinking napalm death. Yeah, corporations, because it's got a dollar sign on here for some silly reason. Did that, and then you did another album pretty much 10 years after Black Faith called Spirit in Flames.
that's right. Yeah, that was right. And
I think I heard one song from it briefly, and it just kind of, well, I might have been from Black Faith actually. I don't know. It sounded very different from what you guys did before.
yeah.
I was like, oh wait, where's the death metal vocals? What's John doing with his voice?
Yeah, well, this is it, and you know, it was something that when I recorded the last album, Shadow Gripped, it's I did the vocals twice on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Twice.
And the second, I did the vocals completely twice, and the second time was a return to the death metal vocal style, I think.
Well, yeah, because I think a lot of people like with Spirit in Flame, it's like, I don't know about this, and then also in 2018, I was trying to remember then. 2018, you come out with this Shadow Gripped, which obviously I bought because I was like, yes. It's like, oh, cool. They're going back to basically what they did here.
That's right. Yeah.
Just
a blend of death and thrash metal.
Death and thrash, because it says on Archives, actually I've got it. It says genre death thrash metal. Is that fair to say?
I think so.
Yeah, because you got that thrash.
I think so.
You got that thrash in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's just what it is, isn't it? And you know,
yeah, I definitely got that.
We were born in that kind of death metal movement, but we got like a lot of thrash influence. So
more the artwork there. I don't think there's any band pictures in there.
Oh, there is.
Well, there is, but they're like red coloured.
Yeah, it's more MK Ultra, I'm afraid.
MK Ultra, and there's
more MK Ultra. Yeah, there you go.
Because when I saw all you guys again, I was like, because I know Ian had dreadlocks for a while.
That's right, yeah.
And now he's cut them all off.
Yeah.
And Carl's hasn't got his long, beautiful locks anymore.
That's right. That's
right.
The
only one he still has.
Yeah, well, mine's actually in a bun on top of my head.
A bun.
Because
I can't do a bun.
I've here in Spain, it's so dry. You know, the weather is so dry. My hair just ends up like I get this kind of like Wurzel gummage.
Going on. Is the humidity then?
Yeah. Well, no, it's the dryness. It's like desert. It just dries me out.
Shit.
And it's if I go to Barcelona, there you got the humidity, and I get like this kind of sleek look. But here in Madrid, I get a kind of like this Wurzel gummage affair going on. You know,
Wurzel gummage then. Yeah, because the first song I heard from this album before it was even released was Garrote.
Yes. Just
one feeling the pain spike crushing your windpipe.
That's right, yeah.
I was like, Okay, that's just like, yes, that's what you want to hear in death metal, something along those lines. And obviously, you're on a good label, Peaceville.
Yeah, we got on Peaceville.
Peaceville, and of course, Autopsy.
Oh, is that the Autopsy Seventh Survival?
Yep,
Yeah,
because I had Chris Ryford on last year on this.
yeah,
He's a good guy.
yeah.
He's a good guy.
He was on Scream Bloody Gore.
Of course, he was on Scream Bloody Gore, and he's done guest vocals for Bloodbath, of course. And you did that as well on the, I can't remember what bloody album it was now, and I'm trying to remember the song. It was you, Jeff, and Cole, doing guest vocals on a Bloodbath song. I'm trying to remember it now.
Yeah.
Actually, since I've got archives up, I'll actually try and remember it. But how long did this take to record?
Wow. I took, I think it was a week, a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks to record the guitars and the vocals, because I recorded them in Spain, and the bass and the drums were recorded in Foal Studios in England. So I think it's England, is it, or Wales again? I don't know. But
it was
in the United Kingdom.
In the United Kingdom,
that's
we
right.
still say. Some people say, no, this is Britain. No, it's England.
I know.
Bloody place.
I know. How ridiculous has it become with labels and, you know, this changing of everything, you know, regarding words, you know, who you want to identify with.
Yeah, I just remembered the song that you did guest vocals on. It's on Bloodbath's album, The Arrow of Satan is Drawn. That one.
That's it, yeah.
Bloodicide.
Bloodicide.
That's
yeah,
the
I
one.
remember now.
Yeah, because it was you, Jeff, and Carl.
That's right, yeah.
Because you did your bit, and then there's Carl, and then Jeff comes in doing the higher bits. Because you and Carl did like the low parts. Not like ultra low, like all the brutal death metal bands, but the old school death metal low at the time. That's the only way I'm going to describe it now. I'm not going to coin it. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that now.
Yeah,
that's it. I'm writing it in.
Well, I did again, like I say, I did 2 versions on Shadow Crypt, and the first vocal was a bit more of a thrash vocal. It's a bit more like if you hear the demo, that was extra tracks on the 12-inch that they released. I think the Ball Cutter 12-inch. I think there's some demo tracks, and it's a bit more of a thrash vocal on that. Whereas on the record, on the album, I did a death vocal, and yeah, for me, just saying it. You know, for me, it's saying it characterised what the band was about a bit more.
Yeah, I love this album because I was like, yeah, because I was with my mate Simon when I saw you again. This was the first time I saw you was Damnation Fest in 2018. Because the fire alarm went off at one point.
Yes, that was in Leeds, wasn't it?
That was in Leeds University.
Yes.
And then went back and started again because when you started, I was somewhat near the back. And then when you started back up again, I got near to the front.
All right, great.
I was with my mate Simon for the first half of it before the alarm went off, and I think he wrote on his phone saying, "I like these guys." It's his first time listening to you.
Oh, right. Oh, fantastic.
I got to the front for the lap when you started up again. I was like, this is so much better. I can actually hear it. I was just
getting into it when that blasted fire alarm went off.
I was just like, what the fuck? Like, and I managed to get a bit of footage from where I was. I'm trying to remember which song it was. I'll link you what footage I got of you after this. But
I mean, it was. I thought it was calmer a bit because I remember going to like a metal disco, I think, in Wolverhampton years ago. Crusher Joe was the DJ, and there was a bit of smoking going on, which set the fire alarm off, and it went off through his set, which he was rather pissed off about. So I think he was.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we all a bit
He
like
was partaking.
Yeah, because when that alarm went off in Leeds, I was like, okay, did someone just flick it by accident? Because yeah, the album came out on the 2nd of November of 2018.
Yeah.
Damnation was the 3rd of November. My birthday was the day after.
Oh.
And I was going home at like bloody 7 o'clock in the morning because I had to get back for something. But
yeah,
I was like,
all right.
I can have a pre-birthday sesh here in Leeds, so it's all good. And looking at the guest guest appearances, your wife's on here.
That's right. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
may I ask, how did you meet your wife? Was it
Yeah,
when
I
you were on
met-
tour or when you went
Yeah, I
traveling?
did. Yeah, I met her in Salamanca when we were touring off the Corporations EP. And
was it love at first sight?
well, yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much.
I was in the right position to meet her as well, so that was good.
So well, obviously it's love at first sight. You got a lot of things in common. I'm guessing music.
That's right. Yeah.
And whatnot. Your wife's name is I don't want to get it wrong. Raquel.
Raquel. Yeah.
Raquel.
Yeah.
And I thought I need to bring her up at some point because there's another band you're in. You're both in this band.
Yeah.
Graveyard.
That's right. Yeah.
She's the vocalist.
Yes.
And she's got her vocals are really, really good.
Yeah, she's sympathetic to the cause.
Yeah, beautiful voice. She's got a beautiful voice. Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
And like I said, I checked out Liquid Graveyard recently, and I'm trying to remember which bloody song it was now. It was like Violent Skies, that's it.
Yeah.
Check that one out. I was like listening to all the music. It's like, okay, this is cool. And looked at avant-garde death progressive metal, whatever you want to call it. And
That's
then
right, yeah.
vocals come in, it's like, this is very peaceful. Very peaceful sounding. It's heavy, but it's peaceful.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the second album we did. That was the
what's that called?
Is it called Fifth Time I Died?
The Fifth Time I Died, yes.
The Fifth Time I Died, yeah.
Which is this cover.
That's right, yeah.
That's very funky. It's a very funky cover. Because I looked on the band page on here, and we mentioned him earlier. Mr. Shane Embry.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He's not in the band anymore, is he?
No, he just helped out on that one record.
And then he obviously had Napalm Death. Brazil.
Well, I mean, he's
got a lot of bands going on.
He does a lot of things, and we got Barker into play drums.
Yeah, Barker's on here. Yeah,
He did a few shows with us, and it was just to give us a bit of a boost. At the time, we'd got an album pretty much written, but we needed players. I wanted to get these guys in because they're old mates of mine.
You knew back in the day, so it was like
yeah. So I used to know him years ago, and so after the recording, for example, we could hang out and
talk about
old
times and whatnot.
Exactly. So
it was
just for that, really.
Because a lot of the death metal musicians now are married, have kids, good paying jobs, of course. Need good paying jobs. Because while I was talking to Carl, he was talking to one of his sons to get him a cough because he spilt his beer over.
All right.
I was just like, don't spill a beer. For crying out loud, don't spill a beer. And you got kids yourself.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
And
young'uns.
how is
And,
how is fatherhood?
Well, I think it's fantastic, actually. You know,
And
I approached the whole thing with an open mind and without the preconceptions and you know, the usual trappings that you think what you're going to have when you do
become
that. But
become a
for me, it was
parent.
just you know, fantastic.
And obviously are they aware of what you did back in the day, like all the death metal stuff, all the albums and stuff? They obviously know that.
Well, my son, you know, he likes a lot of music. Actually, he's into quite a varied amount of music. But he wears his Death Shall Rise hoodie with pride. You know, so
Oh, that's
he
cool.
knows all about. He's seen the videos. You know, that's it. And my daughter, you know, she's seen the videos as well. And I mean, she should be organising the technological thing for me, really, because she can do TikTok and all that. I can't. I don't know how it works.
I don't do TikTok. I do Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, occasionally Twitter, which is just a pain in the ass, and that's it.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but I don't do any. You know, I hardly do any social media because
Too much.
it just never took off with me. I'm kind of like a bit of a, you know, I still like to watch a bit of television. You know, I like to watch horror films. So on the you know, on the main TV, we've got the Dark Channel, which is like round the clock horror films. You know, and
Oh, brilliant!
I mean, I you know, I can escape with that. You know, I don't really do much with the
You're not
computers.
missing much on social media anyway, so it's all just what's going on at the moment. You know, like we've been having like the voting stuff here recently. You know, like the polls and everything is like,
Yeah.
but it's not just right. Let me expect. This is what happened when I went to go vote. So we can, before we chat more about Liquid Graveyard. You know when you usually vote for one person?
Yeah.
Well, we had to vote for 4 people.
God.
So we needed a police and crimes commissioner to vote for.
Ugh.
And there was some the usual one you usually vote for, like a mayor or whatever.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, that's just confusing.
Yeah.
It's usually one person and that's it. I'm out.
It's a
pain in the ass.
It's one of those things for me with voting and all that. We had our local elections here last week, and you know, I'm not eligible to vote. I wouldn't vote anyway. I don't support organised crime, but I don't see the point. I really don't anymore.
Yeah, there's no point in it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll move on from all the, you know, that crap, and let's talk about good stuff. Liquid Graveyard. Who came up with the name?
Oh,
was that you or your?
I think it was the wife who came up with that. Yeah. I wanted to call it the Architects of Ramesses.
The Architects of Ramesses.
I was outvoted. So
it's like her word goes.
Yeah, well, we had a song called Liquid Graveyard, you see, and it actually came out on that fifth time I died, but in another incarnation. I think it was the 5th incarnation, the Liquid Graveyard, that particular song, where the lyrics remain the same, but there was about 5 different versions with completely different music. And the 4 versions before it were absolutely terrible. So, for me, anyway. So I settled with the 5th one after the acoustic bit, you know, and it kind of worked, you know, on that.
Yeah, I was just looking on the albums, like Liquid Graveyard. That's track number 11 on the 5th
That's
time.
Right, yeah.
And well, before all the shit that's happened, did you do a lot of shows with Liquid Graveyard?
Not really. No, I mean we play a lot in Spain. We did play a lot in Spain.
Oh, you didn't have any
in
more,
past tense.
but you didn't go abroad for.
We played the Metal Days.
Oh,
We
okay.
played the Neurotic Festival in Holland, in the same place at Tilburg, that venue.
Yeah, yeah, I went to
We
15.
played in Portugal. We played in Bucharest, in Romania, a couple of times as well. But you know, I mean, it's strange because when we played in the Metal Days,
Mm.
we actually had the best, probably the best experience, one of the best experiences with it, and it was with the new lineup as well. And we were, before this, you know, all this started. I've got to put my phone on charge now because it's
About to die.
it's telling me the battery's dying.
Oh, crying out loud. Well, we'll finish
Anyway,
up pretty
there you
soon.
go.
We'll finish up pretty soon anyway, but let's keep talking metal.
Yeah, it's all right. It's okay. So we played the Metal Days Festival with a new lineup, and it really felt great for us. So and we had, like I said, we had some shows booked for this year. Well, no, it was last year.
Last year
actually.
even.
And they never happened, obviously.
Yeah,
because
last year's
of,
the write-off.
Yeah, because of that, and so it kind of knocked it out for the time being. You know, I hope to get back doing.
Let's
something
see
like
what happens with, you know, people getting their vaccines and when we can travel again and all that. So
Well, yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I mean, we're getting this donkey in the carrot business here because we travel restrictions prolonged again. Well, we're in Spain for non-essential travel.
mm,
So me going and playing the Metal Fest in Maryland, to them is considered non-essential travel. And I mean, they're supposed to be, you know, releasing the state of alarm, bringing us out of these different lockdowns, but they still haven't got this travel business. I think even in me going to England at the moment is a bit of an issue. You know, I don't, with, you know, that lunatic Hancock in some of his you know, legal laws put in place.
yes, it is a bit all over the place here. Not going to go too much into it, but with the travel thing, my mate was supposed to go to Japan to do a teaching job, but before he flew out, maybe like 2-3 hours before he had to fly out, they put the travel ban in.
Yeah.
And I was just like, he was like,
well, this is the problem. If you've
angry.
got this type of thing, it makes. I mean, I know we've got a show booked in London next March, so I'm hoping by then that, you know, it's, you know, either, you know, it's all been sorted out and we can travel again, or that, you know, there'll be some kind of uprising and
yeah,
well, because people won't put up with it anymore.
When gigs happen again, like, get less off of politics, but then politics end up in metal anyway. Some metal bands sing about politics. Go back to the punk bands; they're very political.
Yeah,
a lot of them. Well, once gigs happen again, everyone's just going to be like rushing to get there. You know, rushing to get there, see your favorite bands, see your mates again, buy some merch or whatever. I don't know. I can't speak for everybody, but that'll be me.
Well, I mean, it's, you know, a bit of live music is, it brings people together, doesn't it? And
it's basically,
I think you know, it's
social lives as well.
It's a healthy thing for people who love the metal. Yeah. So it's important it's important that these gatherings happen.
Yeah, because last time I went to a gig was the Testament tour with Exodus and Death Angel. That was March last year. And then on that tour, half of them got you know what,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
sucks. They're doing better now, I've heard. And
Yeah.
apart from, well, that's all the negative shit. Let's push that out of the way. Let's just push it to one side. We're talking metal, but sometimes that little thing will just creep back in. And I'm trying
Well,
to get
yeah, I mean-
not have it on this chat, but it keeps creeping back in. It just wants to come back in. You fuckers.
Well,
It happens. But you said, well, hopefully Liquid Graveyard come to London next year.
no, cancer. It's
Or-
cancer
or
next
Cancer
year.
even. Well, Liquid
We've
Graveyard
got
would be
we've
great
got
to
a
see them.
show. Yeah, we've got a show that's yeah, I think it's in the Camden Underworld.
Oh,
You know,
Camden
we got
Underworld.
offered that, and
Oh, I'll try and
we've
get
said
that.
yes.
I'll try and get
We've
to
said that yes. You know, so I mean, on that positive, proactive front,
That's
you know,
that's the positives. Let's just talk the positives.
yeah,
Cancer playing next year in London.
next
I've been to the
year,
Underworld.
yeah,
I've been to the Underworld because I saw Mevlet Creation engraved there in 2015.
yeah,
And obviously that was 2015. So that was 3 years before Brett Hoffman passed away.
yeah. Yeah, I saw him. I saw him in France at one of those festivals. I played. Was it Motoculture? I think it was that, or the fall. I think it was Motoculture. Yeah, and yeah, I saw him there just before.
What was that? Was that the year he passed away, or was that a year before?
I think it was the year before.
2017 then, so a year
yeah.
before he passed, which
One
is
of those,
sad. Because I gave him a fist bump when he was there. He put his fist down, gave him a fist bump, done. And then obviously we've lost someone this year, LG Petrov. Lost him,
Yeah,
which I'm still going to keep talking about because he's a massive influence in terms of what I'm doing for my own death metal bands in terms of vocals. And I even said that to Carl, being all fanboy. doing all that, being all fanboy with him, and he was like, "Oh, I appreciate that."
So, yeah, so
I had a great chat with Carl on Jake's Metal Chat, but yeah, LG Petrov is sadly missed by the metal scene, metal community, whatever you want to call it. You can call it community, scene, same thing. Metalheads, missed by metalheads everywhere.
yeah.
Because it sucked when we found out he was ill. It's like, is he going to be fine? What? And it says, oh, he's got a rare type of cancer. Oh, can we treat that?
Yeah.
Well, it sucks. It sucks that he's gone.
Yeah.
But we've got all the albums that he's done, you know, with Entombed, the one album with Comic Con, Firespawn, Entombed AD. Obviously, he did guest vocals with Amon Amarth with the song Guardians of Asgard on Twilight of the Thunder God. But his name will live on through music.
Well, that's it. I mean, you
Same
know,
with Brett Hoffman.
I think, you know, he's left a, you know, a legacy, isn't he? So,
And all the others we've left, all the others that have gone, like Riley Gale from Power Trip, he passed away last year.
Yeah.
And he was a mad front man. When I saw him live, he was just throwing the microphone stand around and just going like full on pump bloody rock.
I know, yeah.
Around on the stage, it's like, you need an energetic front man, and they got that with him.
Yeah.
Same with LG Petrov, he'd be sweating from head to toe, you know. And same with Bonnie. I mean, if Bonnie passed away, that would suck for everyone as well. It's like, not Bonnie from Napalm, but he's the same way. He'd be moving around on stage. It's like he's like a kid having a tantrum on stage.
Yeah, well,
that's
he's
the
absorbed
best way
in
I
the
can
music.
describe him on stage. It's a child having a tantrum, and I hope he does not get offended by that. If he listens to this, he's like, all right. Just like, that's because everyone should know that he used to be in Benediction.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Before David Ingram, who I also met, and he's a nice bloke.
Yeah.
You know all these guys, so I don't have to say you know who they are. You know who they are.
Dave Ingram. Yeah, well, they're kind of back. They were back together, but we played in Montreal, in Canada, Quebec Death
Yeah,
Fest with them.
Benediction played in Sweden at Scandinavia Death Fest in 2019, and I went to that, and that's where I met him properly. Because this
They're
member,
busy, aren't they?
yeah,
They were getting busy.
yeah, and seeing David Ingram on stage with Benediction was just like, yes.
Yeah,
And Dismember reformed
yeah.
that, and that was amazing as well.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
seeing all the Swedish bands playing to a hometown crowd was amazing as well. And yeah, and it's good that you're keeping busy with music.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm kind of vibed about it. The lurgy and all that nonsense is kind of like on the wayside with me. You know, I've been getting up and in the routine of getting the guitar and getting that metal written.
Getting the metal
basically.
flowing, and even putting on metal as well, just when you're just chilling out or something.
Yeah.
That's what I put metal on when I'm on my walks. Well, metal and some of my favorite folk bands as well. I listen to some folk music.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I do like my folk.
Well, I liked Pentangle with Bert Jansch and John Renbourn. I like Davy Graham's guitar playing, you know, that type from that era. It's the 60s, the late 60s, so it had that kind of psychedelic hippie touch to it as well. The strong, I just say the Martin Carthy type folks. It's very stylized traditional song, isn't it? That so.
I think I know which one you're on about, but I don't. I'm trying to think if I heard it. I've heard a lot of folk songs because all the folk I listen to, a lot of these bands are from Europe or Scandinavia.
Oh, right, yeah,
like Wardruna and Highland and.
All right,
down on. Well, check out Wardruna if you're into your. So it's atmospheric. It's very atmospheric stuff. It puts you in a trance, in a way.
All right.
Well, that's not your thing. Listen to a song called Dave the Bod, which is a bit more upbeat sometimes. Some songs are upbeat, some are a bit more mellow.
Yeah. I have a listen now and again, but you know, it's the some of the traditional British folk music is really is you know, especially from that early 70s period.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
Do you remember, you know, like on Led Zeppelin, the Battle of Evermore with Sandy Denny from Fairport Convention, or was it? I think so.
I don't know.
Really, you know, beautiful music. That is really beautiful music.
I love music if I listen like with music, with metal, something's got to draw me into that band. If they got nothing new or anything, it's like, okay, I can't be fucked. Same with some folk bands, like something's got to draw me in. It's like, oh, I like that melody. It's like, no, I like it. With I listen to a lot of death metal. It's like some death metal bands sound like there's too many of them who sound like Morbid Angel, Cannibal Corpse, Obituary, anyone, because there's only one Morbid Angel, of course. One Cannibal Corpse. There's only one Obituary. Some bands would even be influenced by, well, you guys, Cancer. Of course. Yeah. It's like, then there'll be more bands that will sound like that, and it was just like, I've heard this like 10 times.
Yeah.
You know,
well, when we used to go on tour, you know, we used to do some tours. You know, we used to get support groups that you know, you could tell where their influences were coming from. It was from the staple death groups, you know,
and everything. You can tell it's like, okay, that's a very Morbid Angel riff. Oh, that's a very Cannibal Corpse riff. Oh, that's very Entombed.
So they're all right. They just need to go down the pub a bit more and have a play.
Have a play.
That's the thing. Investigate what you can do. You know,
see what you can do, because I'm writing riffs. Some sound very Swedish. Some sound like Fourth Crusade era of bolt thrower. Some sound very Floridian. Some riffs I've done,
Yeah.
some not like Chuck style playing, because I can't do that. I can't do a Chuck Schuldiner. No, that's not me. And I'm guessing you met him when you were.
Well, he came to I think he came to the studio. He did, yeah. He came to the studio to see Scott when we were recording Death Shall Rise in Morrison.
Did you talk to him? What was he
No,
like?
I didn't.
Oh.
There was Bernard Doe there in his Thrash and Burn movie being made, and you know, didn't really want to bother him, really. You know,
fair enough. That's
really want
enough. Just leave him to it. And
potentially upset his evening.
Yeah, don't upset. Don't upset.
No,
leave him alone.
He was there, but I mean, I think there was a bit of, you know, I mean, with because James was on the scene, you know, I mean, there was a
bit of tension.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think, you know, so
yeah, because they've had a lot of members going in and out, and Chuck was the only one there. But we're not going to get into that. We know all this shit. We're not going to get into it.
I tell you what, I met the bass player from Nasty Savage.
Nasty Savage, and Nasty Sausage.
Do you remember them?
I know Nasty
Savage. Great metal band.
I know Nasty
Great metal band.
I look up all these bands. I know them.
They were great.
Obviously, I wasn't there back in the day because I wasn't born yet.
Yeah, well, check out the song "Welcome Wagon."
Welcome Wagon.
Welcome Wagon by Nasty Savage.
Right, I'll check that out.
Good. If you like your metal, it's good stuff. I think, you know.
Well, I could say to people out there, check out the song "Egg Sandwich" by Lawnmower Death.
Yeah,
because they played that at Download 2018. I was like, this next song is called "Egg Sandwich." What kind of song is that? But it's very British.
Yeah, it is.
And Satan's Trampoline.
Sandwich.
Satan's Trampoline.
Satan's Trampoline.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, one with Ginster's Pasty.
That's
a big one.
I love me pasties. Going all British, you know. Yeah, since I showed 3 CDs, merch. Where can we find cancer merch if people so desire to buy all that is cancer?
Your best bet's asking Ian Buchanan. You know, he's the man. He's the merch guy. He's
merch man.
He's the one I ask.
So I'm asking you to ask him. It's like
basically, yeah. I hate to say it, you know, but I think he's got something going on.
I should have got him on as well.
He understands the internet and mobile phones and this type of thing. You know, he doesn't. I'm sure he doesn't need his wife to set it up for him.
He'll probably just like bunk. Hello.
He's well trained in technology. Where for me, it really is the level of anxiety and shame is
it's always obvious. Someone doing this with you, poor shame.
It's getting worse every year though, because they're developing it more and more. You know,
you'll just be on tour with cancer next year. It's like answering your phone. It's like, how the fuck do you work this thing? It's like swipe it. How you fucking swipe it? Swipe the phone. I have to do it. Oh, for fuck's sake! There you
go. We had these things with these codes that you put on your phone for your boarding pass. And, you know, this is typical of me. I finally get it on my phone because it's a heart attack for me. You know, I have to have the ambulance standing by just for me to get, but talk about having a tantrum on stage. That mobile phones give me that, you know, they give me, you know, a real hard time. But anyway, I have to get this barcode on my telephone and swipe it on this turnstile. And of course, every time I do it, I get it up on the phone and the light goes out before I manage to get it on the sensor. That's the first thing. So I have to reset it and find this code, this picture thing. And then when I finally do it and I get it, it rejects it. The turnstile won't up. It goes, because a red light comes on. And I have to get the the airport security. They come and have a word with me.
Oh yeah, because they
Yeah.
do the barcode ones, right? They just scan
But it
it.
doesn't work with me. Technology gangs up on me in a horrendous conspirational way.
So remember, people,
it goes,
technology
that
hates
John
us.
Walker, he's coming. Let's
Oh,
fuck
John
his
Walker,
life over.
Let's just fuck his life over. Like,
It's like,
trying to get on the plane at the airport. Oh, for God's sake!
if you're lucky to get me on there, I tell you, I like B.A. Baracus at the moment. You know. Fucking
18,
terrible.
18
Yeah.
reference. There we go. So for merch, ask the bass player.
Yeah, he
Ian.
knows about this. He knows about this. Again, you know, I can talk about the you know, the songs and that.
You can talk
But
about songs, just not
incidentally,
merch.
have you know? I don't know if any of your listeners or you know or watchers of your show know this, but the last Cancer album being called Shadow Gripped.
Yeah.
You know, if it had been recorded 5 years later, it would have been out in the open, gripped the way the bloody planet's gone. You know, we wouldn't have called it Shadow Gripped. We'd have called it, you know,
You would have called
blatant in your face gripped.
You would have called it
'cause that's
something
what bloody
else.
happened.
You would have
know?
called it something else, yeah. But obviously, well, it's not called that. It's obviously
Global fascist lockdown.
fascist lockdown. Well, there you go, and obviously.
So anyway, did you want to speak about the horror films?
Yeah, we can
Down
talk.
to the
We can talk some horror films before I say my goodbyes and whatnot. So horror films.
yeah. I'm dead boring there, so it's going to be quick. I love the Universal horror.
Universal horror, yeah, that's great. Hammer horror as well.
Well, the Hammer films, yeah.
Some of it can be a bit, you know.
I don't like it when
questionable.
there's too much acting.
Too much
You
acting.
know,
We just want the gore.
when it becomes a semi-nude affair, I'm all eyes in. Satanic Rites of Dracula. That's one of my favourites. I don't know if you've seen that one. It's got Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee in it. Also, Twins of Evil.
Twins of Evil. I didn't even watch that one.
That's got Peter Cushing in. That's a good film.
I got some with Peter Cushing, actually, and I think it's called Horror Frankenstein or something. Yeah, Horror Frankenstein is from 1970, and it's David Prowse as the monster.
Oh gosh!
Before he was Darth Vader.
Oh really?
This is way before he was Darth Vader. He was in some Hammer horror films.
Oh wow!
Played the monster twice in 2 Hammer horror films. He played some strong man in one about a vampire circus. I can't remember which one that is. It's a Hammer horror film, but he was a strong man in it. But he didn't speak because of his heavy Bristolian accent.
Yeah.
You know, Arcade. What? You know?
Yeah. Wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he was also
that's fantastic.
Yeah, and he's also the bodyguard in A Clockwork Orange. After they attack that couple in their house, they get a bodyguard. That's him.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh
right. I just looked. I was just like, oh shit, he was in there, wasn't he?
That's weird, isn't it? Stanley Kubrick. I knew Stanley Kubrick. You know, he liked Leonard Rossiter, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, but he was a mental case because he made his actors do multiple bloody takes for the same scene until they got it the way he liked it.
Yeah,
which was mental. But Stanley Kubrick did all sorts of films. He did bloody war films.
Doctor Strangelove.
Doctor Strangelove. Oh yeah, Doctor Strangelove. How I Learned to Love the Bomb.
The Shining.
Shining is Johnny. That one. That was just completely up the top of Jack Nicholson's head. Was actually in the script.
I love it. I love that film. I love the George Ligeti soundtrack in it with the, you know, when the lift doors open and the blood in slow motion when the child's having the flash, I don't know if it's a flashback or whatever.
Like
his vision.
This is called The Shining.
Vision.
Stanley Kubrick, John Carpenter, another big name in horror.
Yeah, Assault on Precinct 13 was a fantastic
I got that
film for me.
The Thing's my favourite by him.
The Thing?
Yeah, The Thing.
With Kurt Russell.
Yeah. Yeah, Kurt Russell.
That's curious, isn't it? It is a good film.
And
You know?
obviously we said Reanimator, that's another great film. That's not John Carpenter, that's Stuart Gordon, but still Lovecraft reference there, because if you watch
Yeah.
the thing, it's very Lovecraftian in a way
Yeah. Yeah.
because of
It
the
is, yeah.
monsters and everything. And I actually got a book on with Lovecraft stories, and I've read the Reanimator stories completely different from the film, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah.
Completely different. The longest one in there I've read so far is At the Mountains of Madness.
All right.
That's
Yeah.
a long story. I had to keep stopping at every chapter just so I was like, oh, I'm overloaded.
Mm.
Like, this is too long. This is too long. Too long. Too long. Put it down. But there you go.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
but what's your favorite sort of horror? The splatter kind, the gory kind, or the more
Well, it used to be.
universal?
It used to be. These cannibal Holocaust films. Stuff
I
that
got
you couldn't really. You weren't supposed to watch.
Yeah, because the video
back in the
nasty.
day.
I'm not
Yo, nasty.
not doing air quotes for that, video nasties. I got that film actually, Cannibal Holocaust, and obviously it's got a lot of animal cruelty in it. I think that's one of the reasons why the directors took him to court.
Yeah.
Actually, he's taken the court because everyone thought in that film all the actors were just murdered, and so he had to get one of them to come into court and tell it, no, he's alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they give, and obviously a lot of those films had animals actually being killed, which I'm just like,
Well, yeah.
that's not cool.
It's not cool. I fast forward those bits.
I don't really watch. I haven't watched it in ages though. But it gives you an option on that DVD one I got to cut. Like it gives you an option to watch the film without it.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't have to see that. But I usually watch stuff like Lucio Fulci, Dario Argento, all the high Italian stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Stuff like that.
It's good stuff, isn't it? That
Good stuff. Very
all the Argento
stylized,
films.
very stylized, and
Yeah.
occasionally gory, depending what film you watch.
Yeah.
House by the
Oh,
Cemetery.
one of my favourite films that I still watch today, recently, was the third Evil Dead film, Armies of Darkness.
Brilliant film.
I thought that was that's just the Bruce Lee. The Bruce Lee bit was brilliant. I thought,
Oh, I'm trying to remember what scene that was now.
Well, it's the bit in the castle when the cauldron goes over and the witch has a go at him.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
he goes, "Come on, she bitch,
Come on,
let's go."
Yeah. I remember that. I just like how he introduces his shotgun to people. That this is my boomstick.
Yeah. Shop smart, shop Kmart.
It's like
That's what he's.
hail to the king, baby. And that's actually
class.
a PS1 game called Evil Dead: Hail to the King.
Is there?
Yeah, I got it. It's literally taking place after Army of Darkness, basically.
Yeah.
And
Fantastic.
great,
Fantastic.
yeah, it's a great game. All PlayStation 1 game.
Yeah.
And I got a PS2, so I can play all my PlayStation 1 games again.
Gosh, well, what are they? I don't know. Again, I mean, technologies are. You could be showing me Egyptian hieroglyphs, and I'd probably get some kind of. Are we on PlayStation 4 now, or is it 5 yet?
5 because I got one.
All right.
And just wait for a game to download.
I thought my
I
son
can
wanted
play
a
it.
word with me. Yeah.
Is it because the new Resident Evil game came out today?
Oh wow!
So
Gosh.
I'm waiting for that to download so I can play it. Because
Yeah.
a couple of my mates already posted, "Oh, it looks gorgeous." Like, don't rub it in.
So what's the Resident Evil game? It's not the T virus. It's the coronavirus, isn't it?
Oh, well,
they're implementing.
People into
They're
zombies.
cashing in, Jake. They're cashing in on it.
I know, right? But they're turning into zombies and doing it that way.
Yeah, we're seeing
Not just
that.
zombies.
We're seeing that
dogs.
today.
Not just zombies, but
I'm
dogs.
seeing that in front of my eyes
Dogs
in the
and
street.
Yeah, dogs, crows, people turning into like mutated fucking behemoths.
Yeah.
And yeah, but so yeah, that's Resident Evil and horror films, and obviously obviously you said you did a lot of traveling, so you probably did a lot of hiking and stuff like that. Do you like hiking?
Yeah, around Asia, around the Himalayas, around India.
No, that's cool. I love to do that
Yeah,
when we can.
it's when I went, which was in 1996, 97.
I was at,
Yeah, I mean, it was,
not school then for me.
well, it was cheaper for me to travel around India than it was for me to live in Telford. That was the
Wow.
that was the difference. Yeah. I mean, after the Black Faith experience, I mean,
It's
how
like,
I didn't get my flat foreclosed, I don't know. How they didn't come with a repossession order, I don't know. But,
who knows?
but anyway, I got to do a bit of traveling, bit of experience, and it was the traveling that enriched me enough to continue with the music.
Yeah,
actually.
And, of course, continue with cancer and then doing Liquid Graveyard with your wife.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I think it's not. I think that is the reason why you moved to Spain in the first place.
Yeah. Well, I'm not very good in cold weather.
Well, it's a good thing you're missing it, because the winter that we had, the start of this year, it almost snowed. It snowed here in Bristol. It snowed more up north, obviously. In Bristol, we had a little bit of snow, and it was gone after like 5 minutes.
Oh wow!
It doesn't last long down in Bristol. It doesn't.
No.
It doesn't.
Well, I used to when I was still living in England, in Telford, I used to drive down to Bristol, to the airport there.
Bristol Airport. Yeah, I'm not
most weeks to fly over to Spain.
I'm not too far from it.
Yeah,
it was
nice.
Yeah, Bristol's
EasyJet.
EasyJet. Yeah,
EasyJet Express.
Yeah, well, Bristol's nice if you.
Yeah,
you're going down there to the airport, but if you actually had a chance to go around Bristol, like got the suspension bridge, obviously, because I can walk that way when I'm pointing. You can't actually see when I'm pointing. There's a good view of the bridge.
Yeah.
And the football ground as well. I can see that from where I'm walking from.
Yeah. Well, I used to take that route back where the road follows the water, and you see that bridge. Before you get back on
where you're on about,
onto the M5, you see.
Yeah.
Back up to the Midlands.
I know what you're on about. Yeah, I know the water, and then you see the bridge, and you see it, and you go under it at one point, and there's a little bridge.
When Bristol's mentioned in documentaries, it's usually that image that
the bridge.
Yeah, it's that image that they show, isn't it?
It's usually the bridge.
It's nice. I quite like it down there in the West Country.
Yeah, well, going back to Cancer again, I hope Cancer does play Bristol at one point.
We played.
Did you play Bristol at one point?
Yeah, we did.
Was that the big? Any chance?
Spirit in Flames.
Time. I'm trying to think. I think I looked at like set list, because I can type bands and put set list. I think it might have been the Beer Keller you guys played.
Yeah.
That's not open here anymore. It's something else.
Oh.
They closed it down.
Oh dear.
But I got to see a bunch of bands there. So the first death metal band I saw was Vader, and they were there.
Wow. Fantastic.
And Sepultura played there.
Yeah.
And played there back in like 1990 or something. And they said, Chris said, oh yeah, we played Bristol. When was that? And I looked at it, I was like, 1990. Oh, cool. That was on the tour with Paradise Lost then. That they did with Peaceville, obviously. It was those two. I was like, so I played Bristol. Probably remember what the fuck's there, because everything's kind of changed in the centre of Bristol now.
Yeah.
Whatever they saw of it, it's changed. It's changed now. So
yeah, it's been a while since I've been actually to Bristol.
So you were there in 2005 then, because that's when that album came out, Spirit Flame. So it's 2021. Things have changed in Bristol.
Yeah.
More shops.
I mean, the last thing I knew about Bristol was this Edward Colston statue getting the douse.
We're in the
He got a dosing,
Black
didn't
Lives
he?
Matter protest and all that because of what happened. What happened to George Floyd, which is absolutely disgusting. What happened to him? That's the whole reason for that. And finding out that Edward Colston was a, you know what? I'm not going to say his name. We all know what he was. Yeah, it's a part of Bristol history, but it's that bad part we don't really want to talk about very much. I usually like to talk about metal on here, but obviously the whole politics thing comes in again.
Well, I mean, it was the reason why I mentioned it was because it was on the news here. That was why.
Oh, it travelled that far, Jesus.
It was on the news here, you know.
I was
Oh,
at
and
home when
the
that was happening.
after the Black Lives Matter with the Winston Churchill statue getting defaced with a certain symbol.
Oh man. Well,
we're living in a
happened. Yeah,
crazy
that
world,
happened.
Jake. So
Yeah, that
Yeah.
happens, and yeah, I was just like,
better to have a sense of humour.
yeah.
And,
Well, because not only did they tear the statue down, they put it in the bloody harbour side. They tossed it they put it in the water, the harbour
that's
side.
like I say, you got a dosing.
I was just like, well, I was at home and I saw some footage of it being torn down. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, but
Bristol.
that's one part of it, Bristol history. The things I like to remember is all the gigs I've gone to here. So
Yeah.
that's what I focus on.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I'm one of these kind, I used to because when we used to travel a lot, touring and that, going to different cities, I used to give a star, so out of 5 stars to see which city would have the best CD or record shops. That's how I would categorize and grade a city
Well,
on how good its music shop
but
was.
speaking of that, funny enough, you just mentioned record shops. Bristol has its very own heavy metal record shop now
Really?
called Black City Records.
Great.
So
Yeah.
when you're in Bristol next, go
I'll check it out.
there because it's up the road from a pub called the Griffin, which is the #1 metal pub here.
That's good. Do they do? I don't suppose they do mail order. I suppose.
You can order stuff online, but I don't know if he's gonna. I don't know about the whole travel, like all delivery expenses things, if he's gonna do that yet. But there's some cancer stuff. There's some cancer stuff in there.
Really?
Yeah, because he was selling hoodies and stuff, and one of them was cancer.
All right.
And I went in there
Wow.
Tuesday just gone, and he was wearing a cancer hoodie.
Yeah.
I was like,
Well, back in the 80s, in London, we had a shop called Shades off Wardour Street near Soho in London, and they used to put in adverts in Kerrang and Terrorizer, no, Metal Forces it was, and it was a place called Shades, and I used to get my Hellhammer and Celtic Frost and a lot of it, Voivod Killing Technology and all that. I got it from there. And we actually did a special excursion one time, me and Ian with a couple of other friends. We went all the way down to London on the X96 bus from Telford. It took hours, Jake. And we got there and we got the Mets. We managed to get to this shop, and there was nothing in it. We were horrified.
Well,
we could have gone to Birmingham.
Yeah,
Could have
Birmingham.
gone to Tempest.
Yeah, and also Scruffy Murphy's.
Yeah,
Don't forget Scruffy Murphy's.
I remember Scruffy Murphy's. Or
Still there, obviously. If it wasn't there, I'd be like, when am I going to hear metal music in a pub?
that's the thing. You get your
Capacity. I even spoke to the woman who was working around the bar one time, and I said, and she mentioned, I mentioned Shane Embry's. Oh yeah, he drinks here. I was like, was he not here? But anyway, I managed to get an image of Black City Records. That's it.
Oh, okay.
So it says there, the Southwest's only heavy metal record shop.
So check it out.
Well, it says coming to Bristol City Centre Zone, but it's already
It's already there.
It opened on the 17th of April.
Oh,
because this is a fanzine that he had out. There's only volume 1.
fantastic.
So and before we end it, that's if you're looking for the Griffin pub, look for
There
that.
it is.
Look for that. And they got a Facebook, so you can go on Facebook and see what John's up to.
Yeah.
I know the owner, he's a good bloke. And I bought a lot of beer from him when it was the lockdown, because obviously pub wasn't open, but you can still buy stuff from there. So I was like, gonna buy this, gonna buy this, gonna buy this. Oh, my bank's gonna die.
He had an off license going, did he?
Yeah, he started doing deliveries since we couldn't go to the pub. So
Yeah.
there you
Good
go.
on him.
Good on him. So, and on that note, thank you very much for being on Jake's Metal Chat, John.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And
I really enjoyed it.
yeah,
Thank you.
'cause everyone's kept saying, "Oh, Jake, you've had all these different legends and stuff," and it's like there will be more. I did mention I was going to get you on here on something I'm going to be doing a little bit later called the Heavy Metal Hangout. Saying, who have you got coming up? I was like, well, and this was when I didn't know when we were going to get this time sorted out. So
Yeah.
I'm going to get John Walker from Cancer on.
Well,
Well, yeah.
thanks for having me anyway.
Yeah, definitely. And
Mhm.
you're more than welcome to come back whenever you
Okay.
whenever you're
Cool.
free.
Well, if we got some fresh thing, when we got some fresh things to talk about as well, that'd be
talk about, because I'm going
the
to
best thing, wouldn't it?
I am going to do some live streams where I bring back old guests and we just talk metal.
Sounds
Just a
good to me.
general chat, not me just chatting and asking questions.
The history of metal.
The history of metal. So, well, let's talk the history of metal. Oh, wow, I'm going to have to go back a bit. So, but yeah, so thank you for those watching this video.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoy it. Share this video around if you so want to. Like it. The whole subscribe thing, well, it's good that you subscribe, because if no one subscribes to my channel, I'll probably go a little bit mad. But it happens if you're locked in your house for a long time.
Yeah.
Because that happened last year in April. I was locked in my house for a while. Didn't go anywhere. So yeah, he's been John Walker of Cancer and Liquid Graveyard.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, yeah. And you're welcome. I've been Jake, or to Carl, Jackie Jake. That's what he's been calling me. Jake of Jake's Metal Chat. There will be more guests coming. I should end these videos a little bit better, but I'm shit. When you're next in, so, and also for people who are metalheads all over the place, when you come to Bristol, when you are allowed to travel, Black City Records, go down there for all your metal needs. and giving David Savage a lot of love and a lot of shout outs. So if anyone
Get down there, spend your money.
spend your money on records, because I've spent
Spend your money in Black City Records and
Black City
Yeah.
Records.
enrich your record collections.
Oh yeah,
That's the way.
I'm going to do a video on all the stuff we bought so far. So yeah, he's been John of Cancer, Liquid Graveyard, and I don't think he's got any more bands I have missed. But
No, I haven't.
only those two. Only those two. Jake's Metal Chat, or Jackie Jake to Carl. It's Jake to everyone else, but Jackie Jake to him. Thank you for tuning in. Keep metal alive. And this is us signing out.